Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So what is going on? Why did Bitcoin and crypto dump some more overnight? And what is it going to do today? Well, I do have a warning for you guys. So make sure you're watching this video and spread it with all your friends. All right, let's get started. Welcome. Another beautiful day. The market bell has just rung. And you know what? The U.S. market is actually looking pretty green. So that's pretty good. Unlike Target yesterday, which actually lowered their full year guidance, Walmart raised their full year guidance. So actually quite a contrast there. But today, it looks like the market is trying to, at least the U.S. market, trying to recover back from what happened yesterday after the Fed minutes came out that spooked the market, spooked everything, and everything went into red. But today it looked like it wants to turn back to the green. That's good. We also got some economic data this morning. Jobless claims actually came in 1,000 less than estimations, so that's pretty good. Previous measurement was 250,000. This week actually went down to 239,000. So in terms of unemployment, still in line. In fact, you could argue better than expected. So that is also pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of talks about how the nation, the U.S., can go deeper into recession, right? But with these hopeful economic data, it seems like that's not going to happen. But there are a couple things that are definitely affecting Bitcoin and markets right now, okay? Or crypto markets. Number one is the DXY, the dollar is climbing once again, okay? There is definitely a correlation. Whenever the DXY goes up, Bitcoin and crypto tends to go down. Now, why is this happening? Is the U.S. dollar getting stronger? Well, not necessarily. The U.S. dollar is actually getting weaker. We know that, right? But other currencies that the U.S. dollar is pegged against are getting much weaker. For example, the Japanese yen, it is going down big time. So, and that is a big measurement against the DXY. So the DXY is actually going up because other currencies are just getting even weaker, right? And traditionally speaking, I don't have a comparison chart, but whenever DXY goes up, Bitcoin crypto tends to go down. So that may be one of the factors. Another factor is coming overseas, and that is China. China is looking very bleak right now, very deflationary, opposite of inflationary. And they have no choice now but to inject more capital, right? That's the last thing anyone really wants because it adds to inflation, of course, right? And that's exactly what Powell and everyone else does not want in the U.S., but sometimes we're forced to because we can't pay our debts. But in China right now, it's so bleak. It's so deflationary right now. They are just injecting. And not only that, cutting their rates too to try to stop the deflationary nature of their economy right now. So that is also pretty bad. But also there has been correlation, like I believe TechDev has made this correlation whenever the Chinese 10-year bond, it also has like an inverse relationship with Bitcoin. So that could also have something to do with it. So right now, we know that Bitcoin is a little bit lower than yesterday, right? So overall, it's not a huge crash. It's not a huge dump. Just got a little bit weaker, right? And it could be due to these external factors. Now, here's the warning that I want to share with you guys because there is something, okay? Right now, Bitcoin, in terms of trading volume, has dropped to its lowest level in history. Lowest level in history. Think about that. All the traders, all the leverage traders, and all these people that used to trade like crazy, where did they go? Kind of disappeared. It's kind of hard to imagine that right now is the lowest trading volume in Bitcoin's history, right? So people do equate low volume, low volatility with weakness. That's the problem. And there are a lot of short-term investors. I thought they all disappeared. I think we're all long-term investors now, right? I think last time I checked, it was over 75%. But unfortunately, there's still some short-term investors, and they are caving because they're equating the low volume, low trading as FUD. And that's not the way to do it. That's my warning. Right? Like if you are new to the space, most of you guys are not. You've been watching me for years, so you should know. But if you are new to the space, you jumped in maybe a little bit higher than now, right? You may be feeling the pressure like, oh boy, Bitcoin is falling, right? No one's trading, no one's buying, right? And you know, there's a little weakness, right? So I get it. So there are people that are somewhat afraid. That's why short-term investors, actually, a lot of them are starting to sell right now, right? So if you add all that up, that's kind of like what's happening. But here's the thing, okay? This is why I'm going to give a warning. This is, throughout Bitcoin's history, this has always been the case, right? Even very, very short term. Let's take it very, very short term, right? You could see that, yeah, after Bitcoin did this, what did it do? It trended down and then it went back up, right? So, I mean, even on a short-term scale, we see this often. But if you zoom out on a yearly scale, you definitely see it, right? So there are times when there's just weakness. There's just low volatility, or, you know, there's not a whole lot going on, that there's just like, it seems like it's very stale and stagnant, right? But that's actually when you want to pick up, because when these short-term investors are selling, right, and there is market pressure, that's the best time to be buying, right? That's why I've always said you don't want to sell or panic sell ever, because you're just transferring your wealth to someone else. And that's exactly what these short-term investors are doing. They're transferring it to the rest of us, which is actually a really good thing. So when things are down, that's when you want to pick up, because how you make gains, how you make profit in investing, in crypto investing, in Bitcoin investing, in any kind of investing, is you pick up when things are low and then you sell high, not the opposite. You don't buy high and sell low, which ends up being the case for most retail investors or short-term investors. But as a long-term investor, you know that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. And the reason why it's great to be buying now and great to be buying when things are low, especially when it comes to Bitcoin, is because the fundamentals and metrics just support it, right? I mean, there's no way you could tell me the number of hold or lost coins that's now at all-time high and continues to form new all-time highs, that this doesn't have an effect on Bitcoin. No, it does. More and more people are buying and holding Bitcoin. The supply is being removed from the exchanges and just simply being held. And Bitcoin is a scarce asset because there's a finite supply. There's a total supply. And less of it is being released every 4 years. That's why we have the halving event, right? Take a look. Number of addresses holding 10 Bitcoin. You could consider these guys the rich guys, right? Not whale level, but pretty darn rich, holding 10 plus Bitcoin. Again, pretty darn high, right? I mean, the fundamentals of Bitcoin has never, ever been better, okay? So that is the greatest thing. Scarcity plus fundamentals, right? Really good. And plus, from a technical standpoint, I'm not the biggest technical guy, but there are a lot of technical people that keeps on charting Bitcoin. Even they say, you know what? This is perfectly normal. This mimics previous cycles that we have gone through before, which also didn't just go straight up to the moon. There was pullbacks, setbacks, low volatility, or even high volatility, you could argue, right? And again, those times were scary. It scared out short-term investors, and the ones that sold out lost, right? So it's the same thing this time around. So there's a lot of technicals that's even supporting Bitcoin's bullishness and bull run that's going to be coming next year, right? So I guess my bottom line is don't be panicking. Don't be panic selling especially, right? there'll be times where it's kind of scary. And then, you know, better days come and then you forget those days. And then you move forward, right? But whenever we do have volatility or FUD or a little bit of selling or even others panic selling, that's when it's a great time to be DCAing and continue to hodl and continue to focus on the future, right? That's my warning. That's my message for the day. But outside of Bitcoin, you know, there's still a lot of things going on. Coinbase, right? Coinbase getting its futures approval. That happened yesterday. That's still a big thing. A lot of people still talking about it because I don't think people realize that there's only two entities that offer futures, and now Coinbase becomes the third in the United States. CME, CBOE, and Coinbase, right? Who knows what Coinbase go do with this, but there's not too many entities that are allowed to come up with futures. And plus, this, again, gives a big FU to Gary Gensler and the SEC, right? So that is pretty good. Now, something else that's a little worrisome, I guess, is Shibarium's sloppy launch yesterday. Supposedly, the chain is stuck with 1.8 million locked in, and people don't know what's going on. Why is this happening? You know, this has been building up for quite some time, right? So what's going on with it? There is a lot of FUD spreading. People started posting this. Satoshi Kusama, we effed up hard. We can't recover the ETH bridge. But you know what? That turns out to be fake. Satoshi released, you know, a blog post basically saying that that is not the case. That is FUD. The reason why things are down is because of the insane traffic, and they are working on it, right? They are trying to scale, but the reason why they're down is because they weren't prepared for the traffic, right? So, again, I was saying yesterday, seemed like it was a successful launch. Not much has happened. Well, I guess it is successful, maybe too successful. That's why the whole chain is locked up. So hopefully they can fix that soon. Now, other things that's happening, I noticed this. Polygon partners up with SK Telecom, and this is a joint partnership to incubate and invest in promising Web3 projects. That's fantastic. So obviously, there's still a lot of building at this stage, right? Build. If you're a project, if you're a leader, you definitely want to build during the weakness, and then when the bull run comes, right? When the parabolic run comes, that's how you benefit and profit, right? And then I saw this Injective 2.0, the new token economics just came out, and basically what's most important about this is there's massive amount of burning. So a lot of chains are deflationary, and they make it so by burning a whole lot, taking like part of the fees, right, transaction fees, and you putting that in a bucket and then using that to burn X amount of tokens, right? So that's the biggest thing with Injective. They're a DeFi L1 out of Cosmos, right? A whole DeFi ecosystem. They're L1, but they have a whole lot of stuff going on. But that's something new that they introduced. And, you know, many other projects besides Injective, even Polygon is trying to work on 2.0. A lot of people are working on the next stage of their evolution, right? And it's exciting. It's exciting to see what they introduce. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's see. The U.S. market is okay. NASDAQ is still weaker. Tech sector is weaker right now. Dow and S&P trying to recover their losses from yesterday. But as for crypto, still down about 1.7% from yesterday. So obviously down a little bit. But we are seeing a little recovery. So you can see Cardano's up a little bit. Solana's up a little bit. Polkadot's up a little bit. Shib is still not up. Shib is still down vastly after the upgrade. But we are seeing a little bit of recovery from yesterday, which the sell-off was prompted by the Fed minutes. But today, hopefully let's see some greens, more greens, right? All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. Oh, before I get started, I did show this yesterday. I'm going to show it again in case you guys are in Florida or can make the trip. Love to see you guys at Cypherpunk. This is a conference being held by Flux, but I am helping them co-host it, helping them bring in projects and bringing people into their conference. It's more of a smaller, intimate conference. If you're able to make it, great. Love to see you there. It's in Fort Lauderdale next month. I have a special link and code. Basically, it makes the ticket near free. So you utilize that if you want to show up and learn about new promising things that are happening in this space, listen to some speakers, get to meet me and others, right? So the link is in the description for those of you guys that are interested, right? So this is my next, after my Vegas a few weeks ago, this is my next event. And this is all leading up to my very own event next year, which I'm still trying to plan out. I'm trying to make it huge, but still, baby steps here. So yeah, check it out. Check out Cypherpunk if you're interested in going. In Fort Lauderdale, it's like 20 minutes away from Miami. A lot of you guys I know are in Miami or in Florida. Jose, reading comments. Building a bear. Preach, brother. That's what you got to do. You got to build. Build. These projects, the ones that are building now, they're going to be stronger than ever. Let's see. Jeremy says, DCA made me more money than my job. That's the right way to do it. Congrats. People just stacking and holding, that's pretty much, that's the winning strategy right here. Winning strategy. All right, I think I pretty much caught up. James, I'm not bullish on Harmony One these days. All right, too much stuff happened. Too much bad stuff happened. And from what I've heard, not good things. So not very bullish on Harmony. Even though they could still recover the bull run, but still not. I did not like what I heard. Brendan says the Fed could take a hike. I went Michael Sailoring this morning. I don't know what that means. I think that means he DCA'd, which is good. I don't think that's actually a thing, saying Michael Sailoring. I guess. I guess you could say that, though. I don't have any opinion on A0. How about Injective Protocol? I just mentioned about their new economics, which is basically introducing a whole bunch of burning, which could be good. Some people don't like burning, others do. I think it's just a way, a way to make the project more deflationary, right? Maybe you don't see effect right away, but especially when volume picks up during, the parabolic runs, that's when they really add up. Are you planning on purchasing Tesla stock sometime during the dump? Right now, Tesla is being dumped for sure. It's pretty darn low. I was charting it the other day, and I think it could drop to as low as like 210. And if it goes below that, it could go even lower. But I think 210 could be a good pickup level. But even at these levels, I mean, Tesla has been very volatile recently. It hit almost 300, and now it's almost down to 200 again. Yeah, I don't know. Tesla, I mean, they're about to release their Cybertruck, so hopefully I get mine soon, and then I could tell you guys how good it is. I don't know. It could be a good pickup point. It may go a little bit lower, but it may just kind of find its footing there too. How much X can Solana make in the next bull run? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, just don't guess 100 because it's not gonna do 100x. Gonna do a 10x? Yeah. Gonna do a 20x? Possibly. But can I do a 50 or 100x? Most likely not. United States steel ticker X could be up for sale after it gets acquired. Do you think Elon will buy the ticker? I don't know. I mean, probably not. Why? Because Twitter is not a publicly traded company anymore. So unless he plans on going public again, there's no reason for him to spend more money. He is a major loss right now. That $44 billion he paid for Twitter, Twitter's probably worth $10 billion. So he lost an enormous amount of wealth trying to buy, or by buying Twitter. So no, I don't think so. And even if he does, so what? That's not interesting to me. Who cares? Who cares if he owns X ticker? I care more about him fighting Mark and my Cybertruck than that, to be perfectly honest. Could you talk a little bit more about how the environment and if something changed for Phantoms in the last bull run, is it still a valid option or has something changed? A lot of things have changed. They got hacked for 100+ million. That was recently. And now they're thinking about converting themselves to L2 for Ethereum. So a lot of things have changed. So yeah, I don't know if those things. Well, I don't know how they're recovering the first part. I think some of it was recovered from the hack, but most of it's not. And then the second part about converting to a L2, I don't know if that's a great idea because there are so many L2s now. I'm still supporting them because of Andre Crowley. He knows what he's doing. He is a veteran, so got to give him the benefit of the doubt. How long the bull run will last? 2025? I'd say the end of 2025. It seems pretty consistent, like right before the end of the year. You know, that's usually when it peaks. ADA 20x in a bull run? I don't know. I guess technically. I mean, they were at $4, right? So they need to do a 20x just to get previous high. So, yeah, I think that's a possibility. I guess H-bar gets no analysis. Hey, if you're that bullish in H-bar, you don't need my analysis, right? That's the thing. So if you're already that much of a guru in H-bar, well, then why do you need me to confirm what you already know? Yeah, today's market turning red again, which is no good. No good at all. A lot of people, I mean, from a macro perspective, a lot of people are concerned about what's going on in China. Obviously, if China gets weak, that's going to affect world economies again from a supply chain issue, from, perspective, supply chain perspective, and also from bonds perspective and currency perspective. That's why, like the DXY has been going up because a lot of nations' fiat are getting very weak. So whatever DXY goes up, that's no good. Not good at all. But you know what? This is good. The fundamentals of Bitcoin are good. That's all that matters. Did you know Trump is an ETH whale, 2.8 million? I saw that. That does not surprise me at all. All the rich people hold crypto, whether they admit it or not. They may not want to admit it, but they all hold They all hold some crypto. I honestly believe that. I believe Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they probably hold some Bitcoin. They'll never admit to that, but I'm pretty sure one of their funds or one of their holdings or one of their companies hold some Bitcoin, right? I'm pretty sure I'm almost 100% sure Jamie Dimon, also of JP Morgan, as much as he bashes Bitcoin, he has it somewhere. These guys are no fools, right? They say one thing and they do another. I bought $700 on Pepe. Let's see. I don't know. Sounds like a gamble right there. Pepe 466 market cap. That's not bad. What did C do? C came back down a little bit finally. They were very hyped up. They hit like 500 million market cap recently. Now down to 321. So as expected, I told you guys not to FOMO in when it's pumping up so much. Bone down 10% from yesterday. So obviously what's going on with Shibarium did not help Bone. And Shib is down 8% today. Yeah. How do you feel about Quant and XRP? I've never liked Quant. It's a B2B play, so it does not interest me. And XRP is XRP. You don't need to say much about XRP because it's XRP. Carried by XRP Army. No matter what, they will hodl and hodl and hodl and hodl. That's why XRP is in the top 10. But now without XRP being labeled as security, I think that's going to help them, especially in this bull run. No reason why they should be suppressed. When last bull run, 2021, XRP was basically the only coin in the top 100 or top 200 that didn't form a new all-time high. So this time around, I think it'll be different. Hopefully. For the sake of the XRP army. The Ripple, keep in mind, the Ripple case is not over yet. The Ripple case is still ongoing. XRP was deemed a non-security, but Ripple is still being sued. That has not settled. So when that settles, I think there will be a lot more excitement, let's say. What's up with Binance taking Gala and VeChain off their exchanges tomorrow? I did not hear that. And which one? The US one or the global one? Because I didn't hear about those. Mohammed says, when people panic, it's best time to buy. Yes. Yes. I covered this. Short-term investors, right? They might not understand. And that's why they capitulate under a little stress, a little stress, little FUD, little volatility. But long-term holders know, right? The people that make the most money when it comes to investing are the ones that basically buy and hold the longest. Every single self-made billionaire from Wall Street, every single one, if you ask them how they made their money, it wasn't through, day trading. It was through buying when other people are panicking and holding. That's really their secret. And making sure that they have enough cash and taking profits so that if it happens again, they rinse and repeat, and keep doing it over and over. And that's how they made their billions, right? Some of the most famous ones even tell you, I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or next week, right? I just follow a simple strategy, buying low and selling high. That's really it. Almost every single one, every single interview I've ever seen of these big, wealthy, rich people, the juggernauts of industry, they all say the same thing. hopefully the market could hold and recover today. Hopefully it's not another red day like yesterday. We're seeing a little bit of recovery for some of the alts, right? Just a little bit, but hopefully we can see a good hold and turn around. Do I have a chain link bag right now? No, I do not. I hope I'm wrong, but SEC is not going to approve any spot Bitcoin ETFs because Gary's mad about XRP and the lawsuits against. It could be, but you know, there's only so much he could do before he goes too far, right? And there are some things that's out of his control. So I bet he's facing enormous pressures from BlackRock and everyone else to get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved. I think it's going to come next year. I don't think it's going to be anytime this year, but right before the halving event next year. All right, guys. To conclude, you know, do not panic, okay? Even though the market is down a little bit, and there are several reasons why it could be down, but this is no time to be panicking. You want to pick up when things are low, when others are panicking. So you're taking their wealth away from them, right? You don't want to do the opposite. You don't want to give your wealth to them. You want to take their wealth, okay? So do not panic. Stay strong, my friends, and I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, and make sure if you want to go to Cypherpunk, make sure you use my link in the description. All right, take care. Bye-bye.